Right, it is 6 p.m. and I'd like to call this special meeting to order. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Folks, please call the roll.
Posey.
Here.
Bond.
Here.
Pomosa.
Here.
Train.
Here.
Mint.
Here.
Josie.
Here.
Carpenter Davis.
Here. All right. Since this is a special meeting, we will only be considering the two items listed on our agenda this evening related to the 2026 Johnson Drive Cars project. Our first action item this evening is for acceptance of the construction contract award for the Johnson Drive Street Rehabilitation Project. Ms. Boyce, can you please provide a report about this item?
Good evening, Council and Mayor. Tonight, we bring before you the approval of a contract with Superior Bowen Asphalt Company for construction of the Johnson Drive Metcalf to Lamar Rehabilitation Project in an amount not to exceed $9,762,965.90. This has been a long-awaited project. As you know, in 2022, we applied for a surface transportation block grant through Mid-America Regional Council, and we were awarded $6 million through this project in 2023. In 2024, City Council obligated the funds for this project. So this project spans from Metcalf to Lamar Avenue, encompassing a vital 4-lane divided arterial road, and serves as a regional east to west corridor. Johnson Drive has been undergoing redevelopment, and this project aims to enhance that corridor by fostering revitalization, improving connectivity, and reducing traffic congestion, greenhouse gas emissions. The current infrastructure, which has aged and deteriorated, will be replaced and upgraded. The project improvements include pavement and curb replacement, stormwater enhancements, widened sidewalks, new streetlights and traffic signal, a hawk pedestrian signal, native plantings, trees, and BMPs, and amenities such as new benches, trash, and recycling bins. These enhancements aim to improve safety, walkability, and overall usability for residents and visitors here in Mission. In the last year, we've worked with our acquisition specialists to obtain the required right-of-way for this project. In addition, as you know, several utility agencies, including water, gas, telecommunications, have upgraded their facilities ahead of this major reconstruction project. I think we're nearing the end, hopefully within the next month. The total engineer's estimate for this project was $9,323,685.50. The bid was advertised for 30 days in March. Bids were open on April 10th of 2026. We received 3 bids. Those are detailed below. With the lowest bidder being Superior Bowen. KDOT has given the city authority to award this project, so that's why we're here tonight. Staff recommends the approval of the contract with Superior Bowen in an amount not to exceed $9,762,965.50. $631,759 is budgeted for construction inspection, which is recommended for award in the next agenda item. And then below are the current total estimates for the project. That includes the design, our right-of-way and easement acquisition, the construction, and the construction inspection. So the total project is $12,847,274.47. We will be receiving approximately 65% of the total project costs in outside funding. That includes $6 million in federal funding, $1.8 million in Johnson County CARS funding, and approximately $559,000 from Johnson County Stormwater Management Program. That's to reimburse the stormwater repairs and replacements associated with this project. Our construction is anticipated to begin mid to late July. The contractor needs some time to order a lot of the materials for this project. So after it's awarded, we'll have a pre-construction meeting and get everything into place and be able to provide you with more updates. The project is expected to be completed within 260 calendar days. This is going to take 2 calendar years. We'll end up going into 2027. Yes, across. Not 2 full calendar years. Yes. Utility coordination has been ongoing in the past several months to prepare for the necessary utility relocations required prior to this, required prior to and during construction. So I will take any questions that you have.
All right, first, we'll open it up for public comment. Is there any member of the public who would like to comment on this topic? Seeing none, we'll open it up for council discussion. Any comments or questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, Debbie then Ben.
Bids. It was Fahey gonna do it for $2 million difference in the one we chose in Fahey? Was Fahey gonna do anything different than this contractor was? Was there any enhancements or something that we should be aware of?
No, it's just the price difference across, across the line items. Yeah. I mean, they're just big differences in removals and probably who their suppliers are and where they're getting their items from. There's, if they have any subcontractors, so there's a little bit of a difference between those bids.
I also think when you see a spread like that, especially at this time of year, it's somewhat indicative that there's plenty of business to go around and you folks aren't hungry and looking for the work. So they may bid it in hopes of not getting the work. I don't know that that was the case here, but oftentimes when there's that much of a spread, that's one of the drivers.
Yeah, I saw Ben, then Wanda.
Yeah, I was just curious about the sort of the budget logistics, since we did have the line item budget right at the engineer's estimate. How are we gonna shuffle the numbers and make that?
So I think everybody understands and appreciates that on capital projects, particularly of this size and scale, there's a lot of fluidity from the initial planning stages through the construction award. So, for example, we issued debt associated with this project and we based that proportionate share on an engineer's estimate at that time, which has changed since then. We budgeted a certain amount for easement acquisition. We know that number changed based on our actual experience in the field. So one of the things in particular in relationship to this project is when we know we have big projects like this, we will build some flexibility into our 5-year capital improvement program. We always carry excess fund balance, but in this instance, you may recall that when we awarded the 2026 street program, we designed 4 streets and we had 2 as a base bid and 2 as a bid alternate. And when we brought that forward to you, we recommended only doing the base bid, preserving that right. So we're ahead in design for next year on residential streets, but that was one of the biggest ways. I mean, we fine tune that CIP budget every time we have a project that kind of that comes across streets, stormwater, parks, it doesn't matter, but we have sufficient and we still have a comfortable fund balance in order to be able to make this recommendation. We wouldn't have brought that forward to you if we didn't think we could afford that. But
Yeah, I'm confident of that much. Sure, just like to put that out there and.
nope, I
get it
appreciate
in
that.
record.
Yeah, Wanda?
My only question is, July, now that we've got the cost, is it set, is it fixed, or will that fluctuate because of the tariffs and all of what's going on? Are we really looking at what it's gonna cost?
It should be set. So I've been in conversations with the contractor. This took a little bit of time to get the authority to award from KDOT, and the contractor assured us that his suppliers were able to keep those costs in which they bid.
I think there's always some flexibility. So there's what we call a force account in all of our projects. That's about $350,000. And that's so we aren't bringing change orders because we only meet once a month. It becomes very difficult as a project moves forward to bring you change orders. So we set aside a force account. If we don't need all of that money, we will realize savings in that force account. I think we know enough based on the utility work that has been done and the survey work that has been done. I don't anticipate any surprises that would result in a significant change order as the project goes forward. The biggest drivers I think that we saw, and we sat down and looked at, some of the unit prices from when we bid the street program in earlier this year. And when we came up, we've got.
Yeah, so compared to the engineer's estimate and what was bid, there was an increase in asphalt, concrete, and curb and gutter of about $250,000 from the engineer's estimate. And then about $150,000 in the electrical, the street lighting. So those are some of the increased costs from the engineer's estimate. Part of that is we prepare an engineer's estimate far before we put the project out to bid. So because this is a federally funded project being administered by KDOT, they also have to review the plans, the bid documents, and the engineer's estimates prior to its bid. So there was some increases in some of those line items.
So if you think about those that are associated with increases in fuel that have happened since we bid the street project, that's not particularly a surprise there.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move the city council approve a contract with Superior Bowen Asphalt Co. LLC for construction of the Johnson Drive from Metcalf to Lamar Rehabilitation Project in an amount not to exceed $9,762,965.90.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Hayden Tromposi.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Camosa.
Aye.
Josie.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Our last action item this evening is for approval of the construction inspection services agreement for Johnson Drive Street Rehabilitation Project. Ms. Boyce, can you please provide a report about this item?
So we are seeking approval of a construction inspection services agreement with GBA for construction inspection services for the 2026 Cars Johnson Drive Metcalf to Lamar project in an amount not to exceed $631,759. I'm not going to go through the whole spiel. You already know about the Johnson Drive project and what it entails. So the construction inspection services are necessary to ensure that this project is built in accordance with city plans, specifications, federal and KDOT requirements, and to maintain quality control throughout construction. GBA was recently selected as one of the city's on-call inspection firms and has a strong track record of providing cost-effective, high-quality inspection services for large projects like this, including our 2014 Johnson Drive project. So they're familiar with the federal funding and KDOT requirements, along with other city projects throughout the last 10, 15 years. In addition, GBA is listed on KDOT's on-call or on KDOT's pre-qualified construction inspector list. So staff recommends approval of this construction inspection service task order under the master agreement with GBA that was approved in January of 2025 for inspection services for the 2026 Johnson Drive project in an amount not to exceed $631,759. We'll take any questions that you have for that.
All right, first, is there any member of the public who would like to comment on this issue? Seeing none, we'll open it up for council discussion. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move the city council approve a construction inspection services agreement with GBA for construction inspection services for the 2026 Cars Johnson Drive Metcalf to Lamar project in an amount not to exceed $631,759.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Robin, please call the roll.
Josie.
Aye.
Carpenter Davis.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Crane.
Aye.
Camosa.
Aye.
Hayden Tromposi.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right. Before we would adjourn tonight, I want to share with the public that the video from this meeting will be available through a link on our website at missionks.org. There being no further business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Ready to start the real project. Feels like a real project. It's been happening.